MK, and I am here with Mixed Media Mayhem layout for you guys today. And Rebecca Moore is the contributor for today, and she contributed this beautiful sketch. I'm also combining it with Scraptember 2022's prompt for today, which is monochromatic. So I have chosen all of my supplies in black. I decided I wanted to do a black monochromatic layout because I just have this really cool ornate fish created out of multiple fish. It's a statue in Salt Lake City that my kids thought were interesting, and so I wanted to create it. I'm only doing one layout, but I plan on doing a flip-flap. So I picked out some stamps. This is a dollar store sticker, and I'm curious to see how it works, but it does have a silvery gray tone to it, so I really want to make that work for me. I also have this awesome stamp set from Stampin' Up called, hang on, I missed it, Well Done. I only plan on using it for one little stamp. And then I have some hickory smoke and black soot, both in inks and in oxides, because I do know that when I use these products, they're different shades. It's almost like you get a twofer, even though they're called the same color. Then I pulled out some sprays. I've got my black marble in dilutions, my white gloss spray, and then my slate. I think it's just called slate, which is empty, you guys. It's slate gray, and it's almost empty. It's got like a few drops in it, but I only plan on using it for splatter. So I also have this really cool holographic stripe that was from a paper pad a few years ago, and I believe I picked it up either at Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I say a few years ago because I don't get to visit those kinds of stores very often, and so it was a Galaxy Best Buy print is what it is, you guys. And I apologize. I disassemble all of my patterns because of the fact that when I look at them, I see them in different categories. So even though I bought the whole book and it was supposed to mesh together really well, I did buy them, and I do tear them down as soon as I get home with them. So that way they are in my categories and used up instead of on a shelf in a book or in a stack that I would never look at. So that's just me. All right, you guys. So I am unlike MK today, and I'm actually gessoing my paper because I want my inks to flow. I want to create that really cool swash that is on both sides of Rebecca's photo in her sketch. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub the lighter of the two grays down first, then the darker, and then I'm going to go ahead and mash it up with some water. I also added a little bit of black to darken it just a little bit. And then when I realized the oxide actually turned brown, that's okay. It doesn't look brown in the end, but I keep going over and keep going over. It doesn't do what I want to do, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I'm just like, yuck, I don't like this at all. What do I do? Okay, well, I'm going to make it look a little bit more like I packaged it, right? Did the packaging technique. Nope, doesn't look good at all. I play with it, and finally I decide to move on. I don't like it, you guys. I absolutely think it's too big. Now I've got my splatters everywhere instead of just inside and corner to corner on my layout. So I decided to bring in this stamp. This one is from the Not Just for Boys Kit Club a couple kits ago, you guys. I don't know if it's still available in their store because I do know that they only have so many stamps, and once they're gone, they're gone. It's kind of crazy how this company is, but that is how it is. Everybody knows that. So I'm just using a few of the smaller sets. Then I decided to pull out some of the blotches to kind of extend what I already had going on as far as my splattering that wasn't supposed to be. Now, the splattering ended up coming from the fact that I tried using my stamp block for the packaging technique, and then it just went everywhere. I mean, this project just kept getting worse and worse, but I'm going to keep playing with it. I'm going to keep seeing about how it goes. I can always throw it away. It's a piece of paper. I'm not too worried about it. And then I add these little fishies, and what I'm doing is I'm taking my black soot and stamping. Yes, it's on gesso, so it does end up being a little lighter than black, but it's okay because it's monochromatic and I'm looking for those different tones. But I'm just stamping once, twice, sometimes 3 times, just depending on where it's at. I check my photo. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Now I'm going to splatter in gray. Like I said, I barely have any of this gray left. So what you see is what I'm going to get. To the point where I actually have to bring in black. I mean, it takes a lot of splattering, you guys, because I don't hardly have a lot. And so this is it. I'm still debating. Do I like it? Oh my gosh, it looks horrific. I don't like it, but I'm going to keep moving on. I seriously, I don't like it, you guys. And the thing is because my blotches they're larger than my photo. They weren't supposed to be that big. And every time that I use gesso and mixed media, and it always seems to go bigger, than what I wanted it to. Do I want to bring in my other photo and extend it out? I really didn't have intentions to do that because I actually have 3 photos. If I take out and bring in my other photo, then where's my 3rd photo going to go? And so it was just a mess. So I kept going. And to make it larger, I decided to bring in this frame. I cut it apart so it extends past. Now it kind of looks better. I like this. I'm going to keep going. It just is one of those things, you guys, where I didn't want that mixed media to be that big is honestly where I was going with that. And it ended up being that big. So to make it look small, I'm extending some of my product that's out there. Even though Rebecca is very minimal, she has one tiny little embellishment on her sketch, as well as a title. I kind of switch that up. I put my title up at the top. It just says explore. And then down at the bottom is where I'm going to have a cute little cluster of, excuse me, of embellishments. So I really liked this diamond plate from the sticker that had the ship on it. And I took the ship out when I realized that all of these are framed stickers and I can use them like a twofer. So I took out the boat, which I don't know if that was intentional or if that was just the way that the sticker accidentally cut through. I'm not sure how these are supposed to work, but I really liked the edge of the boat sticker rather than the actual boat because the boat is brown. So I decided to just use those. I really like how minimal the embellishments are coming in. Now this one here around the seahorse had little, what are they called? Screws and nuts around it, and so I kind of wanted those to be shown, but they're very little, so I tuck those in here and there. This one here is a tone-on-tone little wave. I really like that. I'm really liking the fact that I was able to take these stickers apart and only use portions that I needed to that still work with my monochromatic tone. I do bring in a slight brown undertone, but that can't be helped with these stickers. Actually, it could have been. I just didn't have to use it, to be honest. But once I put all the stickers down and do it, I really like it, but I have to keep going. This is not part of Rebecca's sketch, clearly, but it just was too much for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear apart the top and the bottom of this layout. I'm going to rip it off, and because this is that mixed media foundation paper, Vicky Booten, thank you. I am so sorry. Because it is uber thick, you guys. So I have to work at it quite a bit to get the tearing correct. Because I actually ripped like only the first layer off, and then I'm using my scissors instead of my distress tool because I can actually cut off using the edge of the scissors that extra layer that got hung up. So then I'm going to do the exact same thing on the bottom of my layout as well, and later I will go and pick out a really cool pattern paper, still keeping in mind the monochromaticness of this. Now, the reason why I chose black for my monochromatic is because I didn't want to use a black and white photo. I don't like using black and white photos. I love looking at the colors. I love looking at, how things are. I don't know what this fish statue is made out of, but when the kids and I go back, 5-6 years later, it might be bronze by then and a different color. And I want to see that. I want to know what color this was and what it looked like. I don't know how long it's been there. I honestly don't know anything about this fish photo. Or the fish, I know the photo, but the fish statue. But I want to see all that stuff. And I get why people do black and white photos. It's just not my thing. And so I decided that, my monochromatic is going to be black instead of bringing in a bunch of color or blue washing this by bringing in the blues. So that's why I decided to do it. Am I still happy with my mixed media? Not really, but I'm still happy with the layout. I'm okay with it. I still wished I would have went in with color in the center and brought it all in, but then it wouldn't have looked like Rebecca's sketch. And so I might later, considering that it's got gesso on it, I might bring in that a bit later. But as for now, this is the layout. I'm really happy with the fact that I brought in that extra pattern paper, even though it wasn't part of the sketch. I really like how it looks. I did bring in some white, which turned in gray because of the gesso. So that was a happy accident. I really like how it added bubbles to my layouts. And this is it. Please be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with Mixed Media Mayhem. Our list keeps getting bigger. And thank you, Rebecca, for the beautiful sketch for us to work with today. Also, too, be sure to check out that playlist for Scraptembers 2020 and the Facebook group. And I will check y'all later. Bye.